Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Dakota and Rich, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is this little girl's ability to understand and respond to her formal on-leash obedience commands. The little tiny corrections and a ton of motivation and praise and an occasional treat that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Rich is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and he keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in his right hand, which leaves his left hand free to give any little tiny correction, and the only correction is a little tug and release on her training collar, and that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. Now she is laying down at Rich's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done, and the first exercise that they're demonstrating for us is heeling. The command is Dakota heel, and at this point she has a job to do, and that is to stay with you when you're walking, not forging ahead or lagging behind. And each time that you stop your feet, she has been taught to sit automatically and wait for her next command. So she should be focused on you, and that's why we use our clicker to get the dog to look up at us and pay attention. She's doing it down. Rich will heel her out of that and make her hold her sit stay. It is hot and humid out here today, but that doesn't give her an excuse. She hasn't been out here that long to not hold it, so make her hold it. When Rich returns back to her, he walks back to her shoulders and gives her a click as a reward for a good stay. And we know sometimes with the darker dogs that when we get in the shade you can't see them, but if we keep them in the sun they get overheated, so we walk a fine line. And these dogs are in air conditioning during the day, so their bodies haven't adjusted to the drastic temperature change. This time Rich will demonstrate the recall. This is the come on command, and she comes beautifully and sits right in front of him. And they go back to heeling, and you can tell that she's very happy, that she's not stressed by the training process. She's very stable. She's a nice girl. I know she's probably grown a ton.
Stay.
This is your sit stay again, and you can practice this indoors as well as outdoors, and you're going to lengthen out the amount of time she can hold it and the distance that you can go. Rich calls her again. We teach them to come and sit so they're not coming and jumping all over you. Good job, Dakota. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you, you're going to have her sit first. Rich is using a little piece of treat, and he's teaching her to down on command.
Stay.
And stay. Your down stay, again, you can practice indoors as well as outdoors, and you can even have a place for her to go to down and stay. She's very bright, so she's done a really good job, and she seems to enjoy working, and this is good to exercise her brain. As she's becoming an adult, you want to keep these commands in place so that she always has them, never forgets them, and does it for you with and without distraction. It's her down stay again. And if she goes to drop her head, Rich just takes a step in, because she's not supposed to be sniffing the ground or picking up leaves. He calls her in out of that and has her sit. Very good girl. Now we have demonstrated for you Dakota's heel, her automatic sit, her sit and stay, her sit stay come, her down and stay, and her down stay come. These are the commands that we want you to work with for her for the first couple of weeks that she's home, on a daily basis, using your video as your guide. And please keep us posted on your progress. We are always here to help, and thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company.